All right, Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. All right, I'm the brother Shaman from Great Millstone, Chicago. Hey, man, just reading along the internet, because that's, it's reading, man, it's very important. Reading the scriptures is very important. Brothers have been elaborating on that through the Spirit. And it just is reading the scriptures and then reading outside sources too, which you can use the scriptures to decipher information. All right. And now here, Esau will tell us we need these masks, right? So they have you put the mask on. You got to wear the mask. Certain states, if you don't wear the mask and you go into somewhere, the business can be fined. But if you go in and you do have something to eat, which you can dine in at certain places, you don't have to have a mask on while you're eating, right? So, it's not making sense. It's not adding up. The food, what I'm saying, is the food contaminated too? Since you can't even take a mask off. All right. What about the water? Brothers was asking about that. Can the water be contaminated? And this shit is pure foolishness, and the Most High made the world a certain way, okay? Well, he commissioned the angels, all right, to do so, but ultimately it's his design, okay? Just like he did that, he designed the body a certain way, and the scriptures actually tells you how to deal with the body, all right? It tells you about the use of a physician, because when you get into, even now, you just go to the doctor. All they're going to do is prescribe pills for you. All they're going to do is, give you to run around on some bullshit and try to, allow you to stay sick so they can keep prescribing shit and making money off of you. They know the business. All right. Like I said, though, the scriptures, well, as the scriptures say, use the herbs. The herbs were made for us. The herbs were made, to bless us. All right, and this article says 1,000-year-old medieval remedy could be potentially antibiotic, scientists say. And when you look at these Edomites, man, the scientists, the health officials, that's who ultimately is controlling the flow right now. Is because the scriptures say that the king's heart is in the hands of the Most High. All right, the king and all of his men too. Because the scriptures also say, as the leader is, so are his officers. All right. So you got these so-called officials, and they're actually allowing them, even though in the past when health officials made suggestions, they were only suggestions. They weren't really enforced by law and mandated by law. But now you have it so that they're saying U.S. health officials are now having the authority to get entire states shut down, just like they're doing in California. All right, just like they're doing up here in Chicago. They're talking about shutting it down again, even though it just so-called reopened. All right, but then there you go, kingdom against kingdom. Then you have Edomites on the other side who own small businesses, okay, who are invested in whatever system need be. Like the schools, right? In order for the schools to make certain money, they have to fill seats. They have to have good attendance, whatever. All right. So this place is pure confusion. You have these Edomites moving against each other. And all of this in the midst of the next leader, being appointed. So the game continues. Is it even going to be an election? we will see. To be continued. But I'm going to read this article real quick because, these Edomites, they give out so much misinformation. And that's ultimately what the scriptures are for. It says the scriptures are written for our learning. The things that happened before, they're written for our learning so we understand what's going on. All right. And there was a time where the Most High did send plagues upon the earth, which killed thousands upon thousands of people. All right. But every time he did that, he always protected those who have faith. All right. Now, sometimes, he got all of Israel, but, in specific cases, the Most High always protected his own. And just like it tells you in the scriptures, Plagues will go out, but it will not reach the corner of your tent. I'm paraphrasing. Matter of fact, let me find that. Oh, this is Psalm 91 and 10. There shall no evil befall thee. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 8. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 6. It's been read before, but you gotta keep reviewing the scriptures. It says, Psalm 91 and 6, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And we're seeing that now, man. We're seeing the destruction that's being put on these Edomites. All right. Every time you ride through that neighborhood, I was just riding today, noticing, damn, man, it's always a Masonic temple here. All right. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, it's right across the street from the church. You know where they do that at? But it says, yep, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Exactly. And if you really believe and you really have that faith, and you really have those works committed, the Lord is going to bless you with that hedge of protection. All right. And fuck what a nigga says, because, a nigga who's doubting that has no faith. All right. This is the very power who, the people will talk about the existence of the Lord, so-called Jesus Christ. All right, they'll talk about him to the blue in the face. What did he do? What didn't he do? What part of the Bible is fake? Blah blah blah. Well, guess what? None of it's fake, and we have all of his words right here. All right, and it's too much proof that he existed. He existed. His Father exists, and he's the mediator to his Father for us. All right. All these other people with all this made up shit, made up gods, made up theories and doctrines, that shit is falling by the wayside. All right. COVID-19 is coming out of nowhere. Put your mask on. Stupid nigga. But anywho, verse 10 is say, there shall no evil befall thee. That's a lock here, because, these niggas, man, are off the chain. All right, but whatever Esau says and does, they follow suit. You go in the hood, they got masks for sale, and niggas is buying them and putting them on. All right, and trusting in this devil, even though they know he's out for their life. All right, and you deserve destruction if you do that. It said what? Verse 10: there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. All right, and the scriptures gives you in the law, it talks about having mold in your house and all that kind of shit, leprous skin. All right, so like they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. And the Israelites are a clean people, supposed to be clean. You got Edomites who are just now washing their hands, after all this fucking time. All right, because they're not a clean people. They're dirty, nasty people, the basis of men. All right, but going back to this real quick, just a brief showcase. We don't have to go deep into it. It's called Balls Eye Salve. It's a salve, onion, garlic, wine, and bile salts. Exactly. So this is something old and ancient now that they're going back to try to use, because they've run out of, their little plan is basically run out of steam. All they have is a fucking vaccine, which even with the vaccine, I'm willing to bet that shit won't even cure you. It's just it's either they'll have the chip along with it, or it's a precursor to the chip, either or. All right, and everybody knows this at this point. That's why they're also coming with the talks you should, because that's how the devil moves, man. He moves in conversations. You hear the devil just in the details of conversation. All right, one. I should have saved it, but they're talking about what will anti-vaxxers. They got a name. Matter of fact, let's look there. Anti-vaxxers, because you don't want to take a fucking injection. Anti-vaxxers. how a COVID-19 vaccine can be received by an anti-vax movement. Yeah. And look, he has to explain. Lewis Hamilton clarifies anti-vaccine. Right. He has to explain now that he said that. All right. When you go against their agenda, then you have to do all of this explaining, all of this salaki, all of this backtracking and apologizing when the shit was the fucking truth in the first place. All right. And that's it on that, man. You can look at this. Yeah, anti-vaxxers bullying slows public health efforts against COVID-19. Yeah, they call it, if you don't want the vaccine, you're a bully. Yeah, endangers our country. Look at this. Look, these Edomites know the truth. Pandemic. Practice media distancing. Right. Read the scriptures, man. Or watch the brothers' videos. That's the media you need. Or if you do watch Esau, then filter that shit through the scriptures. All right. So you can see the games being played, man. Nobody bullying these people. The pharmacy, medical industry is a $1 billion industry. They've shot billions of dollars worth of drugs, pills. All the shit that they're doing now is all pharmaceutical drugs, man. It's all shit that was created in a lab or created by some type of scientist. All right. Was that Percocets and Vicodin? Niggas doing morphine, heroin, all this pharmaceutical grade shit. So Jake can leave reality, which you can't do that. All right, you got to deal with it. And if you're gonna deal with it, man, you got to deal with it as a man. All right, but this is Second Esdras. What is it? Second Esdras 4, 14. Salaki. This is Second Esdras 14. Because it says what, man? People say, what? You only get one. You only live once. Which to an extent that is true. You only get once as per personality. I put it like that. All right, because your mind, not counting, of course, your mind is not the same when you return, but your spirit is the same. I'll put it like that. And this is Second Esdras 14 and 35. Matter of fact, sorry, 34. Therefore, if be that you will subdue your own understanding. Let me see. Right. Therefore, if so be that you will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. And now Christians will say, that means you get to go to heaven. Well, all spirits go back to, and the scriptures tell you that all spirits go back to the Most High that gave them. But then when you come back on this earth, you receive your judgment all over again. And these devils, they're receiving judgment, and also our people too. All of us are receiving judgment. But what the elect is going to do, they're going to work out their salvation with fear and trembling, understanding that that's part of bumps in the road is part of the journey. All right, and the Lord is going to give them strength to go through that. It says, verse 35, for after death, shall the judgment come, and we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly be declared. Exactly. Yeah, after death shall the judgment come. All right, so when you come back to this earth, so when you come back on this earth, Salakia, then you receive your punishment. All right, we finish off on. I got one more. All right, this is Hebrew 9:27. Matter of fact, let's start at Hebrew 9:24. For Yahushua has not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the truth, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of Yahweh for us, right? And that word for heaven right there, that's talking about the spiritual realm which the Most High dwells in. All right, the Most High, angels, the demons, Satan, all of them dwell in the spiritual realm. It said, nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entereth into the holy place every year with blood of others. For then must he often have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now once in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. Exactly. It said, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. There you go again, precept for what we just read. So Yahushua was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation. Exactly. So he's going to actually return with his full mind, and he's going to return. And it talks about, we're going to see the damage that was done to him, and weep, basically. All right, but the elect, we're looking for those new bodies. We're looking for the pureness of mind, the pureness of spirit. We're looking for perfection as well. All right, and guess what? The most popular man in history, even according to Esaus, is he can only bullshit so much. You know what I'm saying? He can only bullshit so much, and that's the spirit that the Lord. Even if you go into like Ishmael, they know about the Lord. You go into, Moab, he won't tell you, but they know about the Lord too. All right. You go into other histories, they know about so-called Jesus. All right. We know his real name is Yahushua. He's there. You can't disprove he was on the scene. All right. There's too much history on him. All right. And that's that, man. He's the mediator for us to go to the Heavenly Father, the most popular man in history. All right, throughout all the bullshit. And going back to that article, that just shows you, because ultimately, when Esau gets stumped, I've heard the teacher actually tell me they study the Bible as well. When they get stumped and they can't figure something out, all right, they go to the Bible for understanding. They go to the Bible seeking understanding, because there is no higher knowledge than that. All right, you can have all the labs you want. You can have all the studying you want. Esau's wiser than Daniel, but guess what? The Most High created. We study the Creator, all right, and the way He created things, and He can shift the battle, all right, and that's the thing that we're waiting on, for him to shift it, to start it up, because he's already started, but we're waiting on him to finish it off. Let me say it like that. All right, call hello Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Kakadash. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom.